They told women in the 1940s to wear these for safety. But little did they know, this forgotten trick might just be the key to saving your hair from breakage today. What we will be talking about in this video is a forgotten and highly underrated tool for effortless and elegant protective styles that will help you grow longer, healthier hair. That's right, we're talking about a funny little thing called Snoods. They may just be my new favorite way to protect my own hair, and they're actually something women have sworn by for centuries. These little hair nets might be the secret to waking up with beautiful, tangle-free hair while still looking effortlessly put together. But do they really work? In this video, I'm going to put them to the test. Why this matters. One of the most important tips in my arsenal for growing out my own hair from a chin-length haircut and a lifetime of hair that wouldn't grow to now thigh length are protective styles. Protective styles keep the hair tucked up and off of the body and keep the ends protected, which is a huge factor in something called length retention, which basically just means avoiding breakage. So in other words, you can be growing your hair super fast from your scalp, but if you're not retaining that growth, you won't see any increase in length. So what does all of this have to do with my 1940s hair secret? Let's talk about that in a moment. First, I would like to quickly mention that if you want either my free hair growth cheat sheet with everything you need to get started on your natural hair care journey, or my free herbal clay wash recipe, click the link in the description to sign up for those. The clay wash recipe has helped transform my own hair, reverse my husband's hair loss, and help so many other people as well. So with that being said, let's jump into this funny sounding little hair care secret, Snoods. The history and function of Snoods. Snoods, or similar hair coverings, have existed for centuries. In medieval and Renaissance Europe, women wore elaborate nets called cauls to protect their long hair and maintain intricate hairstyles. These coverings weren't just practical, they were actually a sign of status and refinement. Fast forward all the way to the 1940s, and Snoods had a major resurgence. Women working in factories needed a way to keep their hair out of machinery while still maintaining an elegant look. Hollywood stars like Vivian Leigh and Marilyn Monroe even wore them in movies, solidifying Snoods as both functional and fashionable. But somewhere along the way, they fell out of fashion. So I want to put them to the test, not just as a vintage accessory, but as a serious protective style for long hair, or for those who want to grow long hair, that combines convenience with practicality and beauty. I want to see if they still hold up today. Ever since I was little and watched the movie Ever After, I've been captivated by the aesthetic of historical hair snoods. The way they added such elegance to everyday life really stuck with me. Now, as a busy mom of 5 who homeschools and runs a business, I wear my own hair up most of the time, and I've come to really appreciate the idea of Snoods for their convenience, beauty, and ability to keep my hair out of the way without having to use a lot of tension on my scalp, or a lot of time for that matter. They also evenly distribute the weight of my now thigh-length hair, which is super important for avoiding something called traction alopecia, which means hair loss due to pulling on your scalp. But there's more to love about Snoods than just practicality. Lately, I've been loving the aesthetic of these 1940s crocheted hair Snoods. They're vintage, cute, and fit seamlessly into a modern lifestyle without looking too costumey. I also love that Snoods are breathable, unlike something like silk scarves, which I do also love and I've been using a lot over the past several years to keep my hair tucked away. But I find Snoods more natural and polished in comparison, like for wearing out. So even though I've never actually worn a Snood before, I decided to give them a try. I did consider for a while about making one myself, but with homeschooling, 5 kids, and being in the middle of another big sewing project, I ended up just deciding to buy them instead, and luckily I found a good website to source vintage Snoods from. But if you want to make your own, I do think it's pretty easy, especially if you do know how to crochet, and I have a great tip coming up for you later in the video about that. My real life test. I'm taking you along for my experience of using vintage hair snoods for the first time ever with my thigh-length, curly, and tangle-prone hair. We'll see, first of all, if they can actually fit over my hair, any tips or accessories I need to use to make them stay on better, and how they hold up throughout the day. And most importantly, we'll see how they affect my hair and help it stay nice and protected despite my busy life and the current very cold temperatures outside where I live in northern Canada. So my first time trying the Snood, right after it arrived, I was tired, I had a headache, and my hair was actually full of oil because I was doing a pre-wash hair mask. Obviously not the best idea to get oil on my new hair snoods, but I was just too excited to try them. The good part is that I'm pretty sure I can wash these easily. My hair was also in these super awkward 6 braids to keep it detangled before my hair wash. At first I had these clipped up in milkmaid braids around my head, but I didn't like how the Snood looked with that particular hairstyle, so I took them down. So first things first, I found that a really helpful tip to keep my hair contained in the Snood is that since my hair is so long and also prone to tangles, I like to put it up first into some sort of low bun or updo, before then putting the Snood over my head. If your hair is shorter or less tangle prone, you can actually just stuff your hair into the Snood, kind of like putting it in a bag, which is awesome, right? So my first impression about wearing this was that it was shockingly easy to put on. It actually made me feel a little more put together than I usually do with a silk scarf tied around my hair, and I wasn't expecting it to be this simple to use. It also feels extremely comfortable and very easy to go about my daily business without my hair either getting in the way or pulling on my scalp uncomfortably. Okay, quick break here to talk about an amazing opportunity for you if you want to crochet your own beautiful hair snoods, because these things can be difficult to find, and who wouldn't want the ability to make all kinds of these in different styles? So let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Craftsy. If you want to brush up on your crochet skills to make awesome hair accessories, or want to learn any creative skill, Craftsy is the place to be. Craftsy is an online community for creatives where you can find inspiration, advance your skills, and discover your new favorite hobby. It's your go-to resource for all things creative. And that's exactly what happened for me about 6 years ago. I personally took a Craftsy class all about making well-fitted, high-quality corsets, and the things I learned in that class kickstarted not only my corset making journey, but also my garment sewing journey. And I still use many of these techniques today. In the future, I'd love to revive my painting hobby when I have the time and energy, and I know Craftsy will have something to inspire and kickstart that as well. Craftsy offers classes in sewing, knitting, painting, cooking, and much more. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the video description will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. That's a huge discount compared to the normal price of $123. So whether you're curious about sewing, corset making, or exploring any other creative outlets, this is your moment to dive in. So let's get back to talking about hair snoods. What I really like about the Snood, despite needing to put my hair in a bun or braids first, technically I don't have to, but that's just my preference, it's that unlike a simple bun, when I just put my hair in a bun, the Snood helps to evenly distribute the weight of my hair over my entire head. This is great because even with the best of intentions, when the weight of my hair is concentrated in mostly one spot, it can cause some pulling. The Snood helps avoid that. My first time wearing this, I was actually amazed at how comfortable it felt on my head with none of the usual tension on my crown caused by a bun. I also felt much more stylish than I would normally with oily hair in 6 braids because I was just able to tuck them away in the Snood and you couldn't even really tell what was going on underneath. It's also an extra layer of protection over my hair when I brave the cold weather outside. It's the perfect in-between option compared to having nothing over my hair and exposing it to the elements, or wrapping it up in a silk scarf turban, which I mostly only do when I'm just at home, not when I'm out in public. So the Snood is a perfect in-between option because I would feel comfortable wearing that out in public or on a Zoom call or something like that. I also found it very helpful to use one of these finely woven hair nets under the Snood to help my hair stay contained while in the Snood, while also being just an extra layer of protection. And to help keep the Snood from slipping down throughout the day, one of these velvet headbands could come in handy, which just helps the Snood, or really anything that you want to put on your head, stay in place and grip better. So as the day went on, I actually forgot I was wearing the Snood, which was a great sign. It stayed on securely without feeling like it was pulling at my hair, and it didn't distract me at all. When I stepped outside, I was surprised at how confident I felt wearing it in public. I thought it might look too vintage or costumey, but it gave off a vintage vibe without feeling out of place. I'd definitely wear this again, and I think I will continue incorporating this into my hair care life from now on. So right now, I only have a few different colors of Snoods and only in one style, but I'd love to try out other styles or other colors, maybe something a bit looser or something a bit smaller, or even a Snood with beads or made from fabric or mesh. There are so many options out there that would be fun to experiment. Nighttime. I've always recommended sleeping with a silk scarf or cap to protect the hair, but I have to admit a Snood could be a slightly more aesthetic and breathable option for nighttime hair care, especially if you combine it with a silk or satin pillowcase underneath. It's a way to get the protection you need without sacrificing style or breathability. My first time trying this at night was when my hair was in those 6 braids that I had in earlier prior to my wash day. But the real test would be trying it out on freshly washed hair and fine curls. Would this keep my curls looking defined and protected from frizz? So I put my hair into a pineapple bun on top of my head, then put the Snood over that. It does look kind of weird when my hair is up so high on my head, but this isn't really about looks, it's about just preserving my curls. Waking up in the morning, my hair definitely wasn't perfect, but that's to be expected. This stayed on my head really surprisingly well and fit over all of my hair, which can be hard for me to do nowadays. And it's also breathable, which is a great plus for scalp health. And now for the real test. Did it protect my hair overnight? And wow, I could definitely see a difference in my hair after wearing this at night compared to if I were not to wear anything. There were no tangles or weird creases, and my hair actually felt silkier than usual. My hair was way smoother and frizz-free after sleeping with the Snood, even on freshly washed and fine curls. It's impressive. The protective styling connection. So as someone who's obsessed with natural hair care, I talk a lot about protective styling, things like braids, buns, and wrapping hair in silk or satin. These methods aren't just for convenience. They are actually essential for retaining length and preventing breakage. Our culture has largely forgotten the importance of protective styling, and that might be why we see so many issues with hair damage and stunted growth. Protective styles work by keeping the ends of your hair tucked away and off of your body, minimizing friction and reducing exposure to environmental stressors. They also help distribute the weight of your hair evenly over your head, ideally, which prevents strain and breakage. So Snoods are a perfect protective style accessory. They keep your hair secure without compressing it too tightly, which allows for natural movement while still reducing breakage. Unlike something like bonnets, which can slip off at night, or scarves, which can cause friction potentially, a Snood holds everything in place while letting your hair, and most importantly, your scalp, breathe. And the best part? They look effortlessly elegant. You can wear them for a lazy day at home or dress them up for going out. They're functional and still stylish, a rare combination. So as it turns out, I've literally been wearing a Snood every single day and most nights since I got them. It's proven to be completely revolutionary for my hair care routine, super comfortable, and I find way more aesthetic, for my lifestyle at least, than wearing like a big silk turban over my hair. It's just so convenient for someone who's busy and comfortable and good for your hair. Win, win, win. Final thoughts. So I honestly didn't expect to love these as much as I do, but it makes sense. Why reinvent the wheel when people figured out great hair protection methods literally centuries ago? I love that these keep my hair tangle free without looking like I just rolled out of bed. And I definitely could see this coming to replace my silk bonnets on some night times as well, and I really love how breathable they are. So the question is, would you wear a Snood? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're into natural hair care, vintage beauty, or historical hair secrets, make sure to subscribe. I have so much more to share here. If you want to dive deeper into protective styles, I've got an article and video all about the benefits of them, plus a demonstration of my favorite and most effective styles. Trust me, you'll want to check that out. Also, head over to my blog where you can explore even more tips for everything related to natural hair care. And again, you can sign up for my free hair growth cheat sheet and my herbal clay wash recipe when you sign up for my email list, and the link for that is in the description. These are perfect for anyone wanting to nourish their hair naturally or ready to dive in and start their natural hair growth or hair care journey. I'll link everything below, and I'll see you in the next video.